To find out which premium action camera is best, we've come to a playground for animals.
Twycross Zoo is the home to over 150 different species, and today they've kindly agreed to help us out with 3 video quality tests.
But before we turn the animals into film stars, it's time to talk turkey.
I've got the head honcho, the big cheese of the action camera world. Yes, it's the GoPro Hero 10 Black.
My GoPro boasts a whopping 5.3K video resolution, 112 minutes of battery and 2 screens. It also comes with the company's latest GP2 chip, which they say reduces boot-up time so you can start filming quicker.
And it weighs 158 grams.
Oh, OK. I mean, as action cameras go, that's a pretty decent one. But wait until you see what I've got up my sleeve.
You mean your pocket?
You're right. This is the DJI Action 2. Because my cam is of modular design, you can strip it back to just 56 grams and less than half the size of your GoPro. But it still features a 1.7-inch screen and battery. It shoots in 4K, so not quite 5.3, but given its size, I think it's overachieving. And it will shoot for 70 minutes. For Challenge 1, I'll be using the Power Combo, which includes the camera and a battery module, which almost trebles filming time to 3 hours, and has a microSD slot, so you don't have to record to the camera's onboard memory.
Let's put them to the test, shall we?
But before we can do that, the producers have set us a test of their own. Get Challenge 1 down from a big pole.
Right, that was easy. Challenge 1. Find out which action cam provides the best slow-motion video while filming the bonobos.
Oh, cool. What's bonobo?
Well, Otis, bonobos are actually our closest living relatives, and they're also rather playful, so we're clamping our action cams on the bars.
8 bars, because they're actually apes, not monkeys.
Right.
They haven't got a tail, you see.
Gotcha. Nice and tight, Georgie. Lovely. I hope they can't rip those off.
Release the apes.
To channel our inner Attenborough, we've set each camera to output video at quarter speed, in 4K resolution, and bribed our hairy friends with some sweet potato.
To achieve this degree of slow motion, the cameras need to record 4 times the number of frames per second than normal. But despite all this extra data, my GoPro's updated chip didn't break a sweat, producing super smooth footage.
My DJI also chomped through the data with ease, recording equally smooth and engaging content.
But it wasn't long until the sweet potato's natural sugars kicked in.
Really wanting to get up close and personal with them?
They've pushed mine down.
While we could still get a live view of the footage on our phones using the paired apps, the bonobos hadn't finished their assault on our cameras yet.
Oh,
Is he
no.
unscrewing it?
Oh, no.
It's off! Oh, no! It's off!
Eventually dropping the GoPro 3 metres onto the floor below.
Oh, no.
And nicking off with my action camera.
It's gone inside the enclosure. They've taken it.
Good luck getting that back.
Yeah. Are you going to sterilise it for me?
Luckily, we did get them back. And after bribing the bonobos again, this time with honey,
And putting them behind some safety glass, we could really up the ante and test our cams at super slow motion, like proper natural history camera people.
at 8 times slower than real life, both cameras need to reduce the resolution so they can process the footage, with my GoPro shooting at 2.7K.
While Georgie's GoPro footage is impressive, at 1080p there's no discernible difference in my DJI smoothness, although it has stretched a bonobo's face on the edge of frame. And that wasn't the only problem. I've got a confession to make. My footage is pretty much over now.
That's it?
Yeah. See, I've been having a problem with the unit overheating and then just cutting out.
So I guess you being on that max resolution, max frame rate, it just couldn't sustain it over a long period
It really
of time.
hasn't.
So, while both cameras produce cinematic slow-motion visuals at both speeds, with higher resolution at super slow motion, combined with the DJI's heat issues, it's the GoPro which edges challenge number 1, putting it 1-0 up.
OK, Georgie, challenge 2.
It's very hot in here.
Quite. Get your cameras wet in these hot and humid conditions, filming the tortoises.
Well, those are the tortoises. That's the pond.
Let's do it.
Let's.
So, challenge 2 will measure how good our camera's video looks underwater. Thankfully, the tortoises were easier to bribe, just needing a few bits of old lettuce to persuade them into taking a dip with our action cameras.
See if we can get old Shelley this close up.
Sadly for Shelley, the spa facilities laid on in central England were somewhat more murky than the clear waters of her native Mauritius. And while neither camera had any problems filming underwater, my GoPro's picture wasn't as clear as the DJI, although it reproduced the colours and details in the floating lettuce leaves well.
So I know this pond is only shallow, but I could go up to 10 metres, and if it's got a case, I can go up to 60 metres.
Exactly the same as mine, Georgie, so I guess this one's going to come down to image quality. Even though our action cams have the same waterproof ratings, the wider field of view on my DJI proved an advantage underwater, producing a sharper image which draws you in much more than the GoPro in these shallow waters.
So after a good old dunk, it's Otis's DJI which wins round 2, making the scores even going into the deciding challenge at the end of the show. Will my GoPro stay top of the food chain?
Or will my DJI go in for the kill?
Earlier on in our action camera challenge, despite the bonobos robbing off with my GoPro...
No.
It's off!
The Hero 10 Black won out when it came to slow motion video.
But when we hit the tortoise enclosure, my DJI Action 2 clawed it back, filming the best underwater video.
With the scores locked in at even, it's today's final challenge which will be the difference between being crowned top dog or bottom feeder.
Right, Otis.
Right.
The third challenge of the day. Push your action camera's colour capturing ability to the max. It's feeding time.
Ooh, I wonder what we're feeding.
Tigers.
Lions?
Bears.
Oh, my!
You're on the menu.
Thankfully, I wasn't on the menu, but to compare colour and contrast, the producers wanted us to star in a video with these rather chirpy lorikeets.
Come and get your food, parrots.
Lorikeet, keet.
My GoPro has a front-facing screen built in, but for Otis's modular DJI to have the same feature, you need to go for the £455 dual-screen combo.
While this combo costs over £100 more than the GoPro, the second screen module doubles as a battery, boosting recording time by 90 minutes compared to running the camera unit solo. Come on, Kate. Oi, are you going to steal my bird?
Yeah.
Good, serves you right. That's what thieves get.
We're shooting at the maximum resolution each of our cameras can go to, with Otis's DJI filming at 4K, but my GoPro recording at a massive 5.3K.
But my sensor is larger than yours, so I can get more light coming in, and I've got a wider dynamic range. Unfortunately, the lorikeets didn't seem too bothered by my wider dynamic range and refused to join me when I was filming myself. What is it they say about children, animals, and tech?
This is your close-up, love. You're looking gorgeous.
Meanwhile, I've resorted to yet more bribery.
We're getting on some of this. Ooh, blimey.
Oh, blimey.
Both our cameras made them look rather vibrant, producing punchy colours and balanced contrast.
Oh.
Why haven't you got long tongues?
Oh, this is cute, isn't it?
Oh
My God, it's on my hand. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Before bird whisperer Barrett acquainted herself too much with the lorikeet, we headed back to the safety of the tortoise enclosure to compare our action cams.
We've got our footage in. Let's have a little look at our colourful parrots.
OK.
So, GoPro to begin with.
Yep.
It's really lovely footage. The only thing is, when I get quite close, it almost struggles to focus a bit.
It does seem to be blurring, doesn't it?
Colours, though, popping.
Yeah, well, you know, you're looking at a rainbow-coloured bird, don't you? So that's nice.
Great detail in the background of the shot as well. It's sort of really retained that. Let's have a little look at your one.
I think the colours are richer.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right. The actual sort of texture of the feathers as well.
Yep.
You can really see. Also, you're getting a lot closer.
I can, before it blurs out. What about the background? The background does look a bit greyer. So it's almost as though our subjects are being prioritised, which I guess ultimately is what you want.
Yeah. So the one that's handled the colour best?
I think it's the DJI on this one.
I think it could be. I'll give you that.
So there you have it. If you ever find yourself being attacked by brightly coloured birds at a zoo, it's the DJI that should be in your pocket. But more importantly, it makes the scores 2-1 overall.
Sounds like a close-run thing.
Yes, super, super close.
But we decided to give it to the DJI on its colour rendition from filming the lorikeet and its wider angle lens from shooting underwater.
So GoPro's been knocked off its perch?
Well,
Yes.
you know, it's still a really, really decent action cam. But when it comes to those 3 tests, the DJI just clinched the win.